as she goes and goes, and beer through the nose on an inside joke. And I'm so excited, I haven't spoken, and she's so pretty and she's so short. Maybe I'm more clever than a girl like her. Well, summer's all in bloom, summer's ending soon. It's alright, and it's nice not to be so alone. But I hold on to secrets in White Houses. Maybe I'm a little bit over my head. I can't look done at the things he said. And he's so funny in his bright red shirt. We were all in love and we all got hurt. I sneak into his car's cracked leather seat. The smell of gasoline in the summer heat. Boy, we're going way too fast. It's all too sweet to last. It's alright, and I put myself in his hands. But I hold on to secrets in White Houses, love, where something ignites.
And welcome to Singapore. I'm here with my friend Ben, and we are going to be doing something that we've been wanting to do for a long, long time, which is to review all of the crushable cigarettes that Singapore and the United States have to offer. So me and Ben fell in love with this one, Marlboro Ice Blast, about 5 years ago, and we've been smoking them ever since. And since then there's been a lot of upgrades, a lot of different flavors, different designs that have come out, and we just think it's important for the world to know, our opinions, and we want to share some of the things that happen in the Far East with our friends in the US. We have a very, very complicated scoring system which goes through 8 different packs of what we could find in Singapore and the US. Design, smell, pre-blast, and post-blast is what we score them on. And you may say, what do you mean blast? Well, all of the cigarettes that we're smoking have a crushable ball in them, which changes the flavor of how they taste. Ben, anything to say?
No, thank you very much, Monster, for sponsoring this this review session today. So,
yeah.
Monster.
Thanks, Monster. Cheers.
Sugar-free.
Yep. Alright, so the way we're going to score these is that I'm going to introduce one pack while Ben, he's already smoking his and he's already done his grades for the Marlboro Ice Blast, which is our first cigarette. So the first way we grade this is in terms of design. That's the pack and that's the actual cigarette. So I'm just going to bring it a bit close here. As you can see, it's a black box. It's kind of a shiny color. I could do without this dead Asian man with a vagina on his neck. We got a quit line here, which is nice. I like that, just in case you want to quit. A little explanation of how to use the ice ball if you want to. You just crush it, and it enhances your taste by crushing the ice ball. So that's good. Looks like these are made in Switzerland, so that's good to know. The Swiss make things real good. And yeah, so we open the pack. As you can see, it's actually got a freshness liner in here, and Ben ripped it up drunkenly last night when we purchased these, so thanks, Ben. And but for the actual cigarette, it's a beautiful cigarette. It's actually got a nice little watermark of Marlboro. It's got the Singapore Mark of Authority, which means that we paid the duty on it, which is good. And yeah, let's light it up and have a little smell. First smell, nice menthol, nice body. You can smell the rich tobacco. Just going to do a dry puff before we light it up. Pretty tough to get air through a cigarette when it's not lit, but definitely already making me tingle on the inside and out. That's good. So let's light it up, have a first puff. First puff. Everybody knows the rules. It's nice. It's lovely. It's a light. It's not menthol. It's ice. It doesn't have any kind of mint mojito taste to it. It's more of like drinking like a vodka on the rocks. It's very nice. No smell. I think you could smoke 30 of these and go home and kiss your girlfriend, and she'd really like it. Great body. Smokes real good. Nice burn. If you can see that, nice even burn on the cigarette. Nice one. This one we're going to do through the nose, just see how it goes. Ready? We're going? Yeah, this is an all-time classic. This is my favorite. Now, comes the fun part. I usually like to wait till we get about halfway down the cigarette to pop it. So I'm just gonna pop the Ice Blast. Extra point if I hear the click. Beautiful click, amazing click. So now's the fun part. Wow, it feels like I'm standing on top of the Swiss Alps. It's just fresh air. It's beautiful, icy, minty, not minty, but just feels like I just melted down a bunch of cough drops and drank them all. Just a classic cigarette. I mean, I'm a little bit biased. These are my favorites, so you know, I'll let Ben's scores, you know, kind of even out mine. But to me, this is a 10 out of 10 cigarette. Nothing else to say. That's about it. It's beautiful. Love it.
All right, well, this is our second of 8 blast cigarettes that we're reviewing today. This is the Marlboro Amber Burst. Now, this is one of the newer burst blast cigarettes, and this is a double blast with two capsules. So to start out, we're going to do the pack and cigarette design score. So looking at this pack, pretty standard, you know, Marlboro Blast pack. We do have this up close of this eyeball here, which a bit misleading, not necessarily a disconcerting image. This might just say these help you stay awake. So could be a positive depending on what you're looking to do.
Nice spin zone, Gordo.
Yeah. So again, you know, opening up the pack here, as you can see, we've got this great design here with this kind of shows you how there's the two different blasts within the cigarette. We've got the orange and the green. Kind of assuming here refreshing flavor and icy cooling taste. We're assuming that the green is some sort of mint or menthol flavor, but not much is known about the orange, especially given the name Amber Burst. So, you know, kind of looking at the rest of the pack, again, these are also made in Switzerland. So, you know, watches, chocolates, and cigarettes are what Switzerland is known for. And then pulling this cigarette out, again, pretty classic standard design, all white. As you can see with this cigarette, it's got a bifurcated filter here, and it's actually perforated so that you can break it off. So I'm just, for demonstration purposes, just to show this innovation, gonna break one off and show you that while you're smoking these, you can actually, if you just want to taste one blast or the other, or when you're ready to taste the second blast, you can rip off this half of the filter, and guess what? You still got one half of a filter and one more blast left to go. So it really is truly, you know, double the pleasure, double the fun with these cigarettes. So again, I'm gonna go with a very high pack score here of you'll probably go at about a 9.5 pack and cigarette design score here. So, all right, you know, moving on to the smell test. Yeah, rich. Smell some notes of rich mahogany. Can smell some of the amber. You know, definitely smells like a classic Virginia tobacco, although again, made in Switzerland. Yeah, great smell. Not catching too much mint notes. You know, on the nostril. Deep inhale, still nothing. Nothing on that. So onto the dry pop. Let's give a dry pop. Catching a little mint on the dry pop. I'm gonna give a quick blast on the dry pop just to see how that goes. Okay, so green. Green appears to be mint, but not strong. Maybe a spearmint. Deep dry pop. Yeah, spearmint there. Let's give the other one just for fun. Okay, that's a fruit notes. Some orange. Almost tastes like a piece of juicy fruit gum. Very, very strong smell and dry pop. I'm gonna go with a 9.7 on those. So, all right, now on to the grand finale. Let's light these bad boys up. Again, Marlboro Amber Burst, new to the market, freshest innovations on the market. Can only be found in Asia, by the way. Just getting the mouthfeel right now. Rich. Tastes kind of like a cigarette. Strong cigarette flavors. Not catching much of the mint or menthol, so this is a difference from, you know, some of the other cigarettes we reviewed today that have a very upfront menthol first flavor. This is a different type of cigarette here. So what we're going to do is, so I'm gonna give it a pre-blast score, not very high actually. I'm going to go with the 7.8. This really just tastes like your average run-of-the-mill cigarette. Nothing to write home about. So far, not impressed. But hey, we still have 2 balls to blast. So let's go on to the first one. We're gonna go green first and see what happens. As you said during the dry pop, appears to be mint. Let's see how it drags. Okay, good pop. No extra point for the pop, but good pop there. Yeah, so the green is definitely a mint, but not icy. Certainly not an ice flavor. More of a spearmint, more of a classic menthol flavor that we've got there. Not too crazy about it, not too strong. You know, so far not looking good on this cigarette. We need to really pick it up here with the orange blast. So, all right, wish me luck. We're going for blast number 2. This is blast number 2. Another moderately strong blast, not enough to warrant an extra point. Deep inhale. Fruit flavors. Very strong fruit flavors. Tastes like I just had a fruit roll-up jammed down my throat. Hard and repeatedly. Not that I know what that sensation is like, but what I can imagine it would be like if something like that was to happen to me. Again, you know, no idea there, but let's go with another drag here. Yeah, very strong artificial fruit flavor. Can't really place it. Kind of tastes like if you jammed up every flavor of Starburst together and licked it. That's kind of what was happening here. Good flavor, I like it, you know, refreshing. Does feel like this could be something that clears out your palate. Yeah, might do one. We'll do an exhale through the nose, see how that goes. Oh wow, that was good. When it comes up through the sinus and comes back down, you really get that fruit coming back down through your nose, which is unique. Very good there. So again, you know, I think the second blast did save it with this cigarette. So I'm going to go with a post-blast score of a 9.2. So again, that was Marlboro Amber Burst.
So this third cigarette pack is brought to us by Nourish Mouthwash because we figured we need a palate cleanser. So they were kind enough to sponsor us. So take a little hit off that. It actually surprisingly tastes a lot like some of the cigarettes we've been smoking today. The third cigarette that we're going to be smoking is another one from the Marlboro collection. It's called Purple Burst. So when we originally saw these in the convenience store, we didn't know what the purple was about. I actually smoked one last night, but I was pretty drunk, so I don't remember what it tasted like, but I think there's a great flavor, but we'll see. I love the design. This one has a picture of a guy hooked up to a bunch of stuff, so that's a bit concerning, but yeah, nothing more to say about that. Once again, we have a double burst. We have the flavor and the fresh ball. The fresh ball is menthol, the flavor ball is purple, which I think is great, but I'm not sure. Packaging is the same, but the only difference is this one actually has an intact flavor lock, which is a removable seal, which actually allows you to keep the moisture in. Allows your cigarettes to last for 5 days instead of 2 or 3 without getting too dry. Packaging, I love it. I like the Amber Burst a bit more. I'm going to give it an 8.2 on the packaging. So let's take a little smell. Once again, very generic smell. I echo Ben's comments on that. You don't really know what you're getting into. It's kind of a wild card. I kind of like that. Take a little dry pop. Once again, not much. It's like walking by a candy store. You get a little bit of a whiff, but you can't really tell what's in it. So let's dive in. I'm going to probably give this a 7.2, just because it just doesn't have any tobacco smell. Dry pop, nothing. 7.2. First puff, everybody knows the rules. Definitely tastes a lot more like a Marlboro Light than a Marlboro Menthol. I don't mind that. That's kind of the purpose of these blasts, is to, you know, amp it up whenever you want. So I respect that. I'm not going to take too much of a judgment. It's a clean tasting cigarette, very generic. You could put this cigarette with other, you know, non-menthol or non-burst cigarettes, and I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference in a blind taste test. So I respect that. Pre-burst, I'm going to give it an 8.8, just because that's the whole purpose of the burst, right? The ball is in there to change the flavor. We're starting from a very basic cigarette. I like it. It's clean. It's smooth. It's very nice. Just one through the nose. Yeah, I can feel my asthma coming on, so that's good. It means it's definitely a real cigarette. All right. So now we're gonna start out. We're gonna go backwards on this one. I'm gonna start out with the fruity one, which I think is fruit. The purple one. Great pop, extra point. Very excited about that. That's probably on account of the moisture lock that we have. Tastes like a cough drop. Could be grape, could be black currant, could be any other fruit that's purple or red, could even be orange. No distinct flavor except from, I feel like it's just been dipped in NyQuil and I'm smoking it. But I like that actually, because I like NyQuil. Definitely a weird Vixie type flavor. Not going to complain about it. Quite nice. Definitely a little change from the normal. Now it's time to pop the green one, which is menthol, so that should actually enhance the flavor a bit. Just going to rub it around there, make sure that all the fiberglass comes out, goes into my lungs. There's the kick. There's the kick. It's nice. It's feel like I'm walking through a strawberry field, eating mint leaves at the same time. Burning my back of my throat a bit. It's probably because I smoked 5 cigarettes in the past 10 minutes, but I'm not going to let that, you know, counter or, you know, affect my score. Just do one through the nose to finish it off. Deep puff. Wow, Serenity. That was actually a really nice one. Post break, I'm going to give it an 8.9, and yeah, I mean, I think these things are designed for, you know, for people that like fruity flavors, and, you know, I would highly recommend smoking these through the nose instead of through the mouth. I think it's a nice novelty cigarette. I can't see myself smoking 30 a day, maybe 10, 15, mix it in with some other ones, but it's a nice little palate cleanser. So yeah, way to go, Marlboro, you did a good job. This fourth cigarette is going to be sponsored by Gardenia Bread, which is another palate cleanser for cigarettes. It's you know, pretty standard cigarette, you know, aperitif, just a little bread. Got the big bit.
Nice. Good brains. Nice and hearty.
I actually give this bread a 9.2 out of 10.
Mom's gonna finish it though.
No.
All right. So next up, we're about halfway through. Apologize if I'm shaking a little bit, heart is racing out of my chest. Smoked about 6 cigarettes in the past 10, 15 minutes, so not usually a smoker. Body's kind of rejecting it. So next up we have Camel Crush. This is, first thing as always, we do the pack and cigarette design. So Camel Crush is our first US cigarette here. Bit of a different type of pack, it's a bit softer. Little less kind of interesting things. Certainly no pictures of people that are dead. So good start there, although we do have a Surgeon General's warning of smoking causes lung cancer, heart disease, emphysema, and may complicate pregnancy. Sounds like it just makes pregnancy a little more exciting, roll the dice. So anyways, here we got, great. This is the original Squeeze Click Change cigarette. This is menthol freshness on demand. You decide when you get the menthol. So again, putting the power in the hands of the consumer, great idea by Camel. So again, Camel Crush cigarette, pretty standard. Now to note, we have not measured these to ensure that they're all regulation, but we'll make the assumption here. We'll measure, of course, in post-production to make sure. Oh, here we go. So if you look, we do have it about 8 and 3, about a 1/4 inch there. So good. that is within the thresholds of acceptability. So good job there, Camel. Again, I'm gonna go here again. Pretty simple pack. Probably go with a 7.2 on pack design. So all right, stepping back to the nostril test and the dry pop. So first off, we're gonna smell this. This is definitely a different smell. This is Virginia tobacco. This is not made in Switzerland, the other capital of tobacco, as we've learned. So that is some good Virginia tobacco. Really strong smell. Smells again very rich, and yeah. So good smell there. Quick dry pop. Not much there. No menthol in the dry pop, so that's interesting. This is not a menthol cigarette until you crush it, so a little bit different than a Marlboro Ice Blast. We're going to go with a smell test and dry pop of, again, not very high. There's not much to it. It's 7.4. So now on to the good stuff. Let's light this bad boy up. So again, as Dave mentioned, everyone knows the rules. One puff, and we do the initial score. This is a pretty standard cigarette. It again tastes a lot like a cigarette. So if you're familiar with smoking cigarettes, which again I'm not very familiar with, but it tastes like you're inhaling something on fire into your lungs. Let's go with, again, not very high, there's not much to this. It's 7.7. It is smooth, it's relaxing, it's making my head rush. Feeling dizzier than I was before I started, and I was already quite dizzy. So definitely making me feel like I might have to throw up or go to the bathroom soon. So it's doing the job. It's doing the trick. This would be nice to smoke, outside a bar. This is a good cigarette. So let's go right in for the crush, and let's see what this thing is packing within the filter. Oh wow! So I've only taken about 3 puffs off this. The filter is already quite brown, so that's good. I mean, I know that I'm staining the shit out of my teeth, as I smoke this, which again, that's, it's a side effect of cigarette smoke, but something that you learn to deal with. And honestly, if I see that stain, I know I've got a good cigarette smoker on my hands. I know that's someone I can trust. So we're going to go in for the crush. That's a tough crush. I think we're right at the threshold. I am going to go with this one and give it the +1. That's a good crush. So So we just did a one fell swoop there, out through the nose. Good mint, not very strong. It's the right level of menthol for me. Not a huge menthol fan, but I like a little bit of kick. So I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8.3 on the post crush. So again, these are the Camel Crush variety, first US cigarette we reviewed. And again, 8.3 post crush.
Okay, so the fifth pack of cigarettes we're going to do is also a US branded Camel Crush Menthol. So once again, we're smoking 2 cigarettes from the US Camel branded in a row, so I just want to cleanse the palate again. A little mouthwash. Sorry, barbecue down there. So this is number 5, Camel Crush Menthol from the US. It's a green pack, same design as the last one. Also Virginia tobacco. The difference with this one is actually, it looks more like a regular Marlboro Light or Marlboro Gold. It's kind of a stealth menthol cigarette. Nothing to really tell you that it's a burstable cigarette except for that little camel there. So what, this is my first time smoking this, but if I was living in the US, I would imagine that I'd probably take some of these and put them in a normal cigarette pack, and then just, so people don't think I'm lame smoking menthol cigarettes. And I don't think anyone would really find out. So it's nice. You can share one with your friend. They get to, they could smoke it like a real cigarette, but if you really like menthol, you can give it a little crush. So packaging design, this one's a little bit more glossy. I like the matte of the first Camel better, but I really like this tip. Gives it an authentic feel. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.9. I don't like the glossy finish on this pack, but let's give it a sniff test. Dry pop. Feels like I'm smoking through a straw with Kleenex in it. It's maybe been left in a frat house overnight. Very bland. Some tobacco feel once we get a bit of moisture in there, so that's good. Just gonna give it a straight up 7.25. Just tastes like a regular cigarette at this point, but we're looking for the ball crush and see what that does to it. So let's see. Give it one pop. Light it up. Everybody knows the rules. One puff. Tastes like a Marlboro Gold, Marlboro Light. Maybe a bit stronger, like a Marlboro Medium. These are the ones that give me asthma, so I think our next segment is going to be sponsored by an inhaler. But nice tobacco. If I was a smoker, I think this is a pretty realistic cigarette. You would never know there was a little ball of happiness waiting to be crushed. Some people probably buy these and actually smoke them and not even knowing. You can just crush it and turn it into a menthol. But then again, it's just a regular cigarette. Pre-crush, I'm going to give it a 7.2. Buzz factor. My heart is beating really quick, my hands are shaking, my head is pounding. But that's why we smoke cigarettes, right? Okay, let's crush it. So like I said, this is a little Camel. I'm actually quite excited to crush it. It's kind of cool, little novelty factor to it. Good click, extra point, extra point. It's a good, well-constructed ball. See how it tastes. Completely different. I feel like I just landed in a different continent. Maybe Africa. I think Africans would like this quite a bit. They like the menthols.
We'll cut that.
But it's not too strong actually. It's less of a menthol flavor than the first one. The first one is supposed to be icy. I found it mentholy. This one is just kind of giving me a slight hint of mintiness. It's not really what I'm looking for in a crushable cigarette. If I'm going to sacrifice the fiberglass going into my lungs and this and that, I really want a burst of Ice Blast, and it's not doing the trick for me. The end of the filter is yellow as fuck, so that means that there's a lot of tobacco, a lot of nicotine, a lot of tar in here. That's bonus points. But overall assessment of the cigarette, great packaging. I like the stealth menthol. I like the flavor, but at the end of the day, it's just basically a Marlboro Light with I mean, a little bit of mouthwash dipped on the end. I don't know if that's from the mouthwash or not, but I give this post crush. I'm disappointed. I was expecting more after the first one. I give it a 6. That's it.
All right, so slight change of pace here for some of the palate cleansing. My hand is in the air. I messed up. We've been using mint mouthwash and we're reviewing primarily menthol cigarettes. Confounding some of the results, don't worry, we'll adjust and account for that in post-production, so none of these ratings will be skewed in any way. But we are going to have this next segment sponsored by milk. So just standard milk here, cleanse our palates. Good work.
Good milk.
Is that about 2%?
It's good.
Okay. All right, next up, we are at Lucky Strike. So Lucky Strike here. This is called Click Wild. Click Wild. So Click is their take on Blast or Burst. And Wild, we have no idea what that flavor is. Pack design, again, it's a sturdy pack. One of back to our Singapore varieties here. Nice pack. Again, a horrifying image of a young Asian baby with a hook in its mouth. And then some fairly cutesy language down here. When you're hooked, your child suffers too. So kind of a play on words that's, gives you nightmares and, yeah, kind of, you can never erase that from your mind. But again, you have the cute little saying. So that's nice. We do have a nice little motto on the back, and I'm going to read it quick. It's what's inside that matters. Great positive motivation. So keep the flavor with a U, that's again the British spelling, locked in with a True Taste seal. True Taste capitalized, that must be some sort of proprietary trademark. Seal for the real taste of tobacco and menthol every time. Then click for a wild burst of flavor. Again, we're going to figure out what wild means. Looking at the design, we've got, again, great innovations coming out of this continent with the flavor seal that Dave has already covered. And a very slick looking cigarette here. Pretty standard. Lucky's, I like it. So all in, I'm going to say a pack design of, I'm going to go high here. I'm going to go 9.6. This might be my favorite pack design of the night. So moving on to the smell test. Let's get some of the nose feel. Okay, this is an interesting one. We've got some deep menthol notes here. Some eucalyptus, might be. This sure is wild. Really, really great naming, because right now I have no idea what's about to happen. I'm a little bit scared, but at the same time excited. Great stuff on the smell. I'm going to go in for the dry pop. Again, really strong menthol notes. Takes eucalyptus. This is the type of cigarette a koala bear would smoke. This is right up their alley. Great stuff. So again, with the smell and the dry pop, we're going to go high here, 9.2. So onto the good stuff. Let's light this bad boy up. All right, one puff in review. Wow, that is a strong mint. It burns the nostrils coming out in a good way, but in a slightly scary way as well. Kind of like, I'm worried about some of the hairs in my nose just being totally singed off from that, but really, really good. If you're into strong mint, this is your cigarette so far, and I haven't even done the click yet, so excited for what's to come. Let's go ahead and just click this right away. Good click, that's a +1. Wow. Wow. This is an interesting cigarette, ladies and gentlemen. They have fruity notes, I think. again, this is a very astutely named wild cigarette because this is a wild flavor that's in my mouth right now. Yeah, this is a great cigarette. You know, saving some of the best for last, I'm going to give this a, I don't know if I did a pre-score. I'm going to give a post score of a 9.2. So again, this is a Lucky Strike Wild. Great cigarette. Very excited.
A bit of an even palate, so just got a little bit of that in there. A little milk bread. Mmm. Mmm. Mmm.
It's like the Holy Communion, but tastier.
That's really good.
Oh.
Mm.
Sorry about the double dip.
No problem. I'll wash it down, but we'll bim out. Oh.
It's not good. Not good. Having a tough time getting it down. I don't have much milk left now. Thanks, Dave.
Oh. Mmm.
Just bread, but right now my body is rejecting anything coming into
Wait,
it.
you do you. You do you. Our seventh cigarette is made by a company called L&D. It looks like it's Luguette.
Yeah.
Luguette and Decote, but I'm just gonna say that it's made by a company called Little Donkey. It's got a nice pack. It's blue and purple. It's called Purple Zoom. Has no other explanation as to what's in it or the flavors that are released within it. Little pack here. Little triple bypass surgery going on, which is nice. It's a very plain pack otherwise. It says it has 4,000 chemicals somewhere here. I saw, maybe on the bottom. Oh yeah, 4,000 chemicals, which is about probably 100 times as many chemicals as this will be viewed on YouTube. We're looking for at least 40, and that'd be great. Aside from that, it's a nice pack. Nothing too great. Take a little whiff. Very strong. The cigarette is actually, wow. Cigarette's a beautiful design. I gotta bring this up one more time. We've got concentric purple circles and then also some blue concentric circles around the filter, so that's great. You know, we know where to crush right there, right on the purple thing. My hands are shaking on account of all the cigarettes we've been smoking. So pack design, I'm gonna give it a 7.3. As for the sniff test, I can smell a lot going on. There was a lot of flavors got released when we opened the pack. Dry pop. Once again, mysterious. I mean, I can taste a lot of stuff coming through, but it's just a smorgasbord of flavor. Sniff test, dry pop, I'm gonna give this a 9 because I'm just really excited to taste it and I hope it doesn't leave me disappointed. One sec. Now we're gonna light it up. Everybody knows the rules. One puff. One through the nose. I like this. It's got a medley of different flavors coming through. There's some blueberry, some raspberry, some grape. Also about 4,000 different chemicals. I can taste probably 30 of them. It's a nice cigarette. You can taste the menthol, you can taste the fruitiness, but at the same time, not overwhelming. You know, it leaves me wanting to crush this as soon as possible, but I like to crush it halfway. When the fire gets closer to the filter and you crush it, the flavor's a lot stronger, so I'm just gonna take a couple more puffs, enjoy this. It's my last cigarette review I might ever do, so. Just a nice mellow, mentholy cigarette flavor. Lots of fruits in there, bouquet, potpourri, smorgasbord, medley, whatever you want to call it. Just a nice one. Pre-burst, I'm just going to give this a 9. Post-burst. Bit of a weak crack. L&D, I don't know how they make their cigarettes. I don't know if it's high quality, low quality, but bit of a weak pop. No extra point there. Let's give it a taste. Wow. This is really, you know, you sign up for something random and you get something random. This is just very fruity. A lot more fruit notes than any of the other cigarettes we've tasted tonight. Definitely still feel like it's been dipped in Robitussin, and you know, or maybe I've taken a shot of Robitussin and then just smoking this. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. I feel like I'm smoking this while I have 4 or 5 Palls in my mouth. Maybe for you kids at home, if you don't have access to these burstable cigarettes, maybe just smoke regular cigarettes with Halls in your mouth and you'll get the same experience. So just a little pro tip. Post pop, I was looking for more action. It's not that different from the pre-pop action, so I'm just going to give this an 8.4 post pop, but actually a very legitimate cigarette. You know, you go into the grocery store, you buy them, you know what you're signing up for. I think this delivers. Not something I'd want to smoke every day, but probably every other day a pack would be good. Yeah, it's 8.4 post pop.
All right, so welcome back. This is the 8th of 8 reviews we're going to do today. But first, we're going to do one last palate cleanser. Running low on palate cleansers in Dave's apartment, so mixing things up a little bit here with some dry rice. So, Dave, if you want to do the honors, get us started.
A little bit. It's like a bunch of ice blast in my mouth.
Yeah, it's really good. Crunchy. Try not to inhale them, so I'm not trying to talk that much. Hard on the teeth, so real crunchy. Pretty disgusting. I'm gonna wash this down without Magners. Great hard cider. Not a sponsor. We just like Magners.
Tiger Beer sponsor. Official sponsor.
Still have a lot of rice in my mouth, so.
Might be your teeth actually crackling.
Yeah. Yep. Don't know if it's my teeth actually shattering or I'm still chewing on rice. Anyways, on to the last review. Pall Zest Burst. So, with the packaging and cigarette design. Anyways, here we can see that we've got a possibly a cadaver with his neck ripped out. Looks like it's been some sort of shark attack. Apparently, that's cancer. Cancer sucks, so we're not fans of cancer here on the cigarette reviews, although that's a bit counterintuitive because we are reviewing cigarettes. Anyways, not too much else here. These are called Quick On, which is a little bit different than our last review, which is Quick. We also have some raised logo right here. This is very fancy, very nice. That's about it. Going to the cigarette. Unbelievable design here. Really love these very subtle gray dots. And then you can see here it's like a power button where the blast is. Really nice, sleek design in the cigarette. We're gonna go higher here. We're gonna go a 9.6 on pack and cigarette design. So moving on to let's get a quick draw here. See how it is on the nose. Pretty good, pretty standard. Tobacco smell. Go right into dry pop. Definitely a minty dry pop. So, you know, it's interesting with this Zest Burst. We're kind of expecting a citrus, but again, neither Dave or I has had this cigarette yet, so we don't really know what we're in store for, but tasting minty to start with. So let's just go ahead and light this bad boy up. I'm sorry, on dry pop and scent test, we're gonna go with an 8.6. So just taking one draw on this to get a pre-burst. Heavy mint, heavy menthol. Refreshing and nice. Reminds me a little bit of an Ice Blast. This is good. Out through the nose, invigorating. Definitely making me feel a lot better, bringing me back up. So I'm gonna go right in and give this a burst. incredible amount of tar already on the filter, so you know it's legit. Nice burst, that's a +1. Oh wow. So we are, as expected, hit immediately with a citrus burst.
Wow. Wow.
It's like,
oh my god.
Again, it's just like I've got a lemon and a tangerine jammed up my nose in a good way. That's a great cigarette. Wow. This is totally different than the other cigarettes we smoke. Dare I say, saving one of the best for last. Love the balance of the citrus with the mint. It's a winning combination. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this one, but we'll go ahead and, for the sake of time, and rank it right away. This could be my cigarette of the night. I'm gonna go with a 9.8.
I threw a wish in the well. Don't ask me, I'll never tell. I looked to you as it fell, but now you're in my way. I trade my soul for a wish, pennies and dimes for a kiss. I wasn't looking for this, but now you're in my way. Your stare was holding, ripped jeans, skin was showing. Hot night, wind was blowing. Where you think you're going, baby? Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. It's hard to look right at you, baby, but here's my number, so call me maybe. You took your time with the call, I took no time with the fall. You gave me nothing at all, but still you're in my way. I beg and borrow and steal at first sight, and it's real. I didn't know I would feel it, but it's in my way. Your stare was holding, ripped jeans, skin was showing. Hot night, wind was blowing. Where you think you're going, baby?